milady, Milady, you are free! Could it be to do with the sudden storm I beheld atop Cloud Mountain?
Indeed it was, and I have this noble man to thank for rescuing me.
Incredible! And to think that the dragon is dead and gone after all this time. He is dead and gone, right?
Completely.
Oh, amazing! Noble sir, whom do I and all of Daventry thank for this miracle?
Go ahead.
Good sir, I am Prince Alexander of Daventry.
The gnome gives you a thoroughly mystified look. Then gradually a grin begins to spread over his old wrinkled face. The grin becomes a great smile, and soon the gnome is overcome with joy.
Wonderful, sensational, marvelous news! Yes, it is you, isn't it? I knew it. From the moment I saw you, I just knew it.
Then what did you just ask?
Shh! I must run to the castle and let everybody know. The dragon is dead and Prince Alexander has returned.
It's a bit on the warm side. You are becoming too accustomed to this view. You are becoming Their limbs are lifeless. It's a bit on the lake is disturbingly dark. The rocks are among the few things undamaged by flame. There is no shortage of roasted vegetation. The rocks are... You can start a collection after sorting this mess out. The plants crumble in your hand. If you could wave it all away, you would. Not so flash when you're flammable. The plants crumble. If you could wave... They won't support your weight now. Not so... You're not sure you want that on your skin. You can start a if you could... Not even grubs can eat these shrubs. No water in that stone. It smells strange. You probably shouldn't drink it. Too late for sympathy. You like your hair unsinged. You vow to make things right once you know how.
Why did you tell me to hush before?
You should never risk insulting a gnome, particularly not that one. He has lived a very long time, longer than you or I could ever hope to, and he knows a great deal more than he lets on.
Oh, I didn't know.
There is much for you to discover about your homeland. But come, our parents will be eager to meet you now.
So much for my surprise appearance.
It is probably better this way. What with Father's heart and all.
Why do you say that?
Never mind. It is not the time to talk of such things.
You have nothing more to say to Rosella.
I can walk.
She doesn't. Don't do that. It's probably poisonous, venomous, toxic, radioactive, or something. Couldn't freshening up have waited until you got home? Few trees have survived the fuelless flames. Your sister Rosella is looking a little worse. It's a bit on the warm. You can only imagine the lost beauty of the area. This tree fared the worst of its nearest kindred. Few trees have. Evidence of olfactory sabotage. It's a bit on. Not so flash when you're. They're not rolling today. Without counter magic, you can't change a thing. Not without a tree mending spell. You'll be glad to be rid of these sights. Forgetting them will be another matter. You have nothing. Your support won't bring it back to its roots. You like your hair. You'll be glad to. It's easy to lose count of how many you've seen. You like your. You'll be glad. Fire really does burn. Today's special, Prince a la carte. A wall of angry flame bars your passage north. Growth here has been stunted. You're surprised there's any left. It's a bit on the warm side. Rocks are the only things unaffected by the heat. The river's taken leave of the land. Once tranquil, this part of Daventry has fared little better than the rest. Growth here has been stunted. You're surprised there's any left. Your chance to freshen up has evaporated. Heat radiates from the very air around you. They're rough, but not ready to be lifted. Not so flash. Heat. Do toasted toes tickle your interest? Your soothing words drift unheeded upon the hot air. They can't tell whether they've weathered worse. Your soothing words. You like your hair. You prefer your plants more carefully cooked. Tad late for a sip, aren't you? Talk about a communication barrier. You have nothing. Long drop, short stop. Long drop, short stop. Not so.
Mind your footing, Alexander. The ground up ahead doesn't look stable.
Your sister, Rosella, you have not even the worms could work this earth. Not a single tree remains uncharred in this once beautiful realm. Despite the ever-present evidence of a recent scourge, you're heartened momentarily by the sight of your distant home. Your smile fades as you realize that not even the once great Castle Daventry has been spared. Despite the ever-present evidence of a recent, the riverbed is dry and lifeless, burned and browned beyond belief. The ground feels uneven beneath your feet. The ground, despite the riverbed, burned, despite the ever burned, they've been damaged enough. Your gestures are meaningless. Perhaps you should have spent more time studying Manannan's books. It is no longer fit for climbing. Crawling on all fours won't help. It quenches nothing but hope. Your longing grows ever deeper as you reach out for your beleaguered home. In the distance, Castle Daventry stands embattled and alone. Calling out to the castle, you count the silent seconds that follow. Why talk to the bushes? They're not burning. Save your moisture for where it's most needed. Have a taste for dust. Not enough bark for your bite. Not even, not a single tree. It is no longer fit for climbing. You won't go there again. You won't go there again. You have long drop, short stop. The man stands alone in the gloomy clearing. He wears a simple hooded garment and pays you little attention. The darkly robed man remains transfixed, as if in deep thought. What little foliage remains little to look at. It's a bit on the warm, Stones of various sizes and shapes rest among the trees. What little foliage remains. By far, this clearing makes you feel the most unsettled, whether it's the twisted trees snatching at the light, or a memory of a past evil. You cannot be certain. By far, it's a bit on. Even in better days, you fancy these trees came off the worse. Stones of various. By far, no view would improve from the top of any tree here. Not so flat. You haven't come all this way to uproot the shrubbery. What little foliage. You haven't, not so, they'd only weigh you down. You sense something vaguely familiar. Perhaps this was the home of a wizard or some other being of magical persuasion. Not one bird would or could answer your call. You like your hair unsinged. The hunger pains haven't hit that hard. Yet. You'd consider it, but then you'd have to change your name to Chip. Try as you might, this place continues to remind you of what you've left behind. The man stands alone in the gloomy clearing. He wears a simple hooded garment and pays you little attention. If he wants your help, he'll ask.
Hello? Are you alright?
I am as I am.
Who are you?
One who remembers many things. My wisdom once served the king.
This is your home then?
I called it that once, before yours had meaning. It has hidden something from me.
Can I help you find it?
Not as you are, my would-be sire.
You know me.
I know many things. The now, then, and every age in between. The reason for days, and why the stars are restless. The forces that work their will in this world. The trivial manner of your arrival.
But how could you?
Leave me. My time wanes with your wasteful banter.
He doesn't appear interested in conversing further. The man stands. Perhaps it's best to leave him be. He doesn't seem the type to hoard wanderers' belongings. You are finding it difficult to compose your thoughts in this gloomy clearing and cannot think of anything to ask Rosella. You have nothing more to say to Rosella. It's a bit on the warm side. Few of the trees show promise of bearing fruit again. The mighty has fallen. A rock sits prominently in this clearing. You have pursued your path to the final clearing. That the damage so closely surrounds the castle does nothing to alleviate your concerns. Few of the trees you have pursued, it's a bit on the not so flat. 'Twill take one mightier to lift it. Not so there is naught here to prepare you for the moments ahead. Your cry disturbs nothing. Sweet, sorrowful songs, while brief, serve neither flesh nor leaf. What grows up must fall down. You like your hair unsinged. What grow? You like your cry. It's not hiding anything. You have nothing. This bridge is faring better than its counterpart. The walls have stood the test of time, but have recently struggled to hold together. The moat might have once been home to many animals, but you cannot see them now. You gaze sadly at the deteriorated castle, once proud and beautiful. Torn banners and crumbling stones now mar the workmanship. Even the moat has been drained. You gaze sadly at the You gaze sadly at the deteriorated castle. This bridge is faring. You gaze sadly at the castle is unscalable as per design specifications. The moat is too wide, deep, and pointless to cross. Seems sturdy enough. The castle, more than a few hands are required to restore this old home. The moat is silence. It's as if no one cares anymore. It spans no water, troubled or otherwise. Silence. There's nothing to hang on to, not even with your teeth. The walls have stood the test of time, but have recently struggled to hold together. The moat might have once been home to many animals, but you cannot see them now. The walls, the massive gate of the castle is opened to welcome you home. There's nothing to open, just walk right through. The castle is unscathed. The moat is too wide. The walls, you can't. The bridge has developed some serious defects, such as the gaping hole in its middle. You can't mend the bridge. Besides, where you want to go is inside. No trolls, no bother. You don't want to leave your...
Rosella! The Royal Weaver told us of your rescue. I could scarcely believe it. And this
is Prince Alexander of Daventry.
son?
Yes, Mother.
My heart has ached with longing for this day. Your absence has been a terrible burden for us all. Come, your father awaits us.
so ends the first. At last.
Father!
Rosella! Are you all right?
As good as can be. Father, you look...
As one who has worried more than any thought possible, for longer than most thought him capable. Do not concern yourself. Is this?
Yes, Father.
I hadn't dared hope for this moment.
Why does your crown glow?
I don't... Wait. The father wanted the crown to find the item. This must be it.
That old thing.
Who is the father?
It doesn't matter. Today, his search ends.
Perhaps that will end his curse. Perhaps its second will not come to pass.
Yes, perhaps. Let us adjourn to the throne room. I have traveled many roads, some joyful, others dark. They have led me far and wide through all manner of danger. Yet they always brought me home, to Daventry. Your road, Alexander, has led you from us. For the longest time, we lost all hope of seeing you again. But the road, it seems, saw fit to return you as well. Along every step of my journeys, I have worn this, my adventurer's hat, a symbol of my zeal and youth. It is right that it should now pass to younger blood. Receive it, and know the man who was your father. May it lead you to fortune and great adventure as much as this world will share. To your futures.
There was no hope for me, and I could not dream of being free. But then I had a vision of you, and you gave me a reason to live, and so I find my way back home to you. Ever walked this far, no one's ever tried so hard, no one's ever felt this way, had so much taken away. Who could know my hurt, my pain, when time and again I'm shamed? How could I have kept so sane when all it did was rain? Takes a
Congratulations! You finished the game! Based on your playing style, you've earned the following secret awards.